Hi, everybody. I'm Ankita Kamath. I'm a senior software engineer at Microsoft and have spent the last several years designing and building high scale distributed systems, especially in the notification and messaging domain. I'm thrilled to talk to you today about combining machine learning with high performance architecture to deliver billions of notifications in real time efficiently and intelligently. So let's bring of what is our notification landscape today and let's talk a little bit about it. It's basically we are talking about billions of notifications daily here, and these are delivered across apps, browsers, IoT, and wearables. Users expect something like a 1 millisecond response latency even during peak load. Think Black Friday or a large scale breaking news era. Systems must operate with fine lines of availability across regions. To support this, we must decouple services, ensure low latency paths using memory based message buses, and handle failovers without state loss. Let's put our problem landscape to be like speed, scale, and precision at this point. Briefly touching upon what are the microservice architecture benefits here. We build notification systems as a polyglot microservice architecture broken into components like event receiver, for example, a Kafka consumer or a HTTP trigger, message router and formatter, channel adapters, which could be a push notification, email, or SMS. Think of it as triggers or adapters, and analytics and feedback pipelines. Key architectural choices have known to be using Kubernetes for orchestration with horizontal autoscaling based on message queue lengths at any point, using gRPC or protobuf APIs for service to service communication, basically primarily due to compact payloads, and canary rollouts using something like Azure DevOps to ensure zero downtime deployments. Each component scales independently in this case, and stateless is the key for all of us. Our systems are basically fully event driven and designed around CQRS. It's primarily known to be command query response segregation and event sourcing. Enrichment layer adds personalization by pulling user preferences, location, and history from Redis backed graph and makes it available at runtime or at near runtime scenarios. Smart delivery involves using ML models to rank the likelihood of engagement. For example, at a given point, what is the user being more responsible to, whether it's a push notification or an email or whether it's an SMS. And our ML models basically help us rank these in a certain order of priority based on previous data. Selecting optimal delivery windows. We'll talk about the optimal windows in a bit coming soon in the late in the presentation. Feedback loops are being captured for every event driven process. What is the scale of opens, clicks, dismissals, uninstall? We can store all this data that we get, all the plethora of data in something like Azure Data Explorer or BigQuery. And this can be further used to train reinforcement learning agents. And it comes back into the system as feedback loops and can be helped to train the system holistically. A brief comparison of different message brokers which are being used in the different notification systems today. Let's talk about Kafka first. Primary use case is to ingest high volume events, and it's best for durability and uses compression to reduce the throughput costs. So it's pretty much well known for that. The second option that we discuss here is RabbitMQ. It's known for complex routing and acknowledgement systems, and it has a strong delivery guarantees with dead letter queues also. Redis streams, known for ephemeral messages and low latency, and great for send and forget pushes. It's like you don't really care what the response is. It's more like it's a fire and forget scenario, and you just let it go and let the system takes its own code. One lesser known one is Pulsar, which is known primarily as a use case for geo replication and backlog handling, and it's built in on tiered storage and partitioning. Often combined scenarios are Kafka for ingestion and Redis streams for real-time delivery, so we can make the best known use of both of the systems. Next, we will touch upon system resilience strategies. We use multiple layers of resiliency in this point, and that's like primary one is self healing. Readiness and liveliness probes are good for restarting pods. Alert fatigue reduced with animally based alerting is like Grafana or AI model combined can help us alert and figure out when our system has certain spikes or certain dips, and can basically help without any human intervention to take quicker action and self healing of the entire system. Circuit breakers implemented via poly or high sticks like wrappers defines timeouts, retries, and fallback handlers. Another one coming to it is redundancy. It's basically active deployments using geo distributed clusters. We could use something like Azure or AWS here. Chaos testing. We run periodic chaos tests using tools like Gremlin to simulate broker outages or CPU starvation. And that basically helps us making our system more resilient. It's not optional at scale. Your system has to be reliable, and it's not like an option for us at this point. It each of these resilience strategies could be used individually or in combination of each other to help make the system more reliable as a whole. Coming to one of the primary topics of this talk, and that's one like how is machine learning integration? It's makes it more intelligent and advanced in terms of delivery, and that goes beyond the basic delivery of notifications. So let's focus on the part where the system shifts from being just an infrastructure layer to becoming a truly intelligent layer. And this is where machine learning integration transforms the game. Most traditional systems are rule based targeting. Send message X to Y users after Z minutes, right? It works until it doesn't. Rules break at scale, and this accounts for user behavior, preference, and context. So, this is where ML steps in and learning from past behaviors, predicting future preferences, and delivering real time personalized engagement. So, let's start by talking about smart filtering, and which is more like classifying a value, right? What's our primary problem here? And that's not every message is meaningful. Users are constantly bombarded. How do we filter what to send? What is our solution? We use binary classification models, for example, XGBoost or GBM, trained on engagement levels, opened, clicked, dismissed, or ignored. Input features could include something like message type. Is it a promo? Is it an alert? Is it a transactional message? What's the context of the user? Is it a device, OS, region? Historical responsiveness and time of day and channel. Basically, does the user historically respond on the phone during evenings and more on the, say, your system or a desktop during, that's a channel which allows for the delivery of the notification during daytime, and all this is captured in data and are very important input features to your machine learning models. What's your output? A relevance score per message per user pair, right? So only messages above a certain threshold make it to delivery. And that's one of the brief explanations of what smart filtering could possibly be. This basically helps to reduce low importance message noise, low value noise, and helps reduce the notification fatigue for the user. The second one where machine learning is instrumental is targeted content and its personalization at scale. Problem, let's talk about briefly what the problem is here. And it's like generic messages don't convert, but content which caters to a specific user, like handcrafted content, is really impossible to make it for every user. So, how do we make targeted content, right? So, we try to use something which is like NLG, which is natural language generation models. It's basically either template based or fine tuned transformers. Examples could be T5 or Distal GPT. Let's take an example of an e commerce platform here. You left this in your cart. Have you seen that recently coming to you pretty often? Yeah, still thinking about Nike Airs, they're almost gone. What this does is one, it reminds you of you left something and you moved on. You moved on for any reason, but It basically adds a personalization tone that it thinks about what you left in the cart and are you still thinking about that. And the almost gone part tells you that there is an urgency. This deal is going to be gone in the next 3 hours, right? Is it really going to be gone? We don't know, but we're trying to personalize the content for you. The notification seems to be more targeted, and that basically helps you to add that targeted audience to the notification. Personalization input could be purchase history, favorite categories, recent session behavior, and social proof triggers. For example, it's ubiquitous. What's trending near you? Where do you live? And what's the local sales going on? What's the market like in that region? And these are basically social proof triggers. So this is known to engage or boost engagement by 20 to 50% in production environments. Oh, the next one where machine learning comes into picture is continuous improvement or feedback loops. User behaviors keep on evolving, and one-time model training leads to stale predictions. What is current today will already be stale tomorrow, and the users' interest as well as the market is evolving that fast that you really cannot have stale notification data. So basically, we can implement in this scenario is what it's called a closed loop learning system. And every user interaction, whether it's a click, ignore, mute, dismiss, is logged and used as labeled data. Daily batch jobs run, which retrain the model and update the weights or the scores of each of the feature values. New models are deployed using shadow mode, for example, A/B test versus current production scenario, to avoid any regression on already learned data. Some of the well-known tooling which is used is MLflow or Azure ML pipelines for experiment tracking and deployment. Feature stores like Feast to manage real-time and historical data consistency. Then we next move on to multi-object optimization, which involves timing, channel, and volumes. Beyond just content, we use the ML pipeline to optimize when to send. Using time series predictions with using something like maybe Profit or where to send, right? Like we spoke about channels briefly before. Is the push notification more accurate at the given point, or is it an SMS or an email? We have different channels which are available at our disposal. And how often to send. For example, if you see that a user is continuously dismissing a particular notification, then we have to ensure that the user gets that notification at a much lower frequency than what is currently available. And that is something which is widely known as adaptive throttling. In some systems, we try to combine these multi-arm banded frameworks. Each arm is a content, timing, channel combination, and we optimize basically for a cumulative reward, which is user engagement in our case, while we try to increase the weights and scores and determine and explore new strategies. This approach ensures responsiveness and adaptability in the fast changing world. We also start using models like Onyx in low latency environments or via like TF learning or cloud interface inferences for determining the different models which serve and what is more accurate based on our continuously learning models. We use feature gating systems basically to roll out safe and ensure no doubt like the learning models or incorrect labeled data does not cause our models or outputs to fail. Always we need to maintain something which is called as explainability, especially in regulated industries. Whether it's Lime can explain help model decisions and precision is very important from our learning experiments. In short, ML doesn't just make notifications smarter, it makes them personal, context aware, and self improving. It's the difference between an ignored ping and a message that genuinely delights your user. Moving on to adaptive rate limiting. Traditional rate limiting uses fixed thresholds, and it's more like we need to go adaptive at this point and analyze the user data, time of day, location, historical response windows. Predict the likelihood of a user basically responding to a category, whether it's a promo, system alert, or and make it more personalized. On a weekend, maybe a user is more aligned towards answering the promo than a working day in the morning hours. But this is what data tells us. This is what our learning models continuously tell us. Throttle using priority queues and leaky bucket are in combination of a ML predictor logic. Rate limits aren't static and they adapt to per user over time. This definitely reduces churn and notification fatigue for the user. We have known pretty widely in even our day-to-day lives that timing is everything, and that's what brings us to predictive delivery timing. One of the most overlooked aspects of notifications is when they are delivered. We intend to focus so much on the content and targeting that we generally forget even the most relevant message when it ends up on the user's channel or device, it just gets ignored. And this is why timing isn't just delivery optimization, it's the engagement multiplier for us. Let me walk you through how we analyze, predict, and optimize delivery, basically based on the data and machine learning combined. Let's start with something which is known as, let's call it step one, and that's known as behavioral pattern mining. We start by ingesting here historical engagement logs, open times, click times, mute unsubscribe events, and each of this is tagged with timestamp, user ID, device, notification category, and channel. Using time series clustering algorithms like k-means with dynamic time warping, DTW, or DB-scan, we identify user cohorts with similar notification engagement rhythms. We often find patterns like office workers engage at lunch, which is like 12 to 1 p.m. Students respond post classes after 6 to 9 p.m. is the primary window, and parents engage late at night, say 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. These temporal fingerprints form the foundation of personalized scheduling. The next thing we move on to is the predictive modeling of what we have captured so far. We have grouped our user cohorts and we can now have the ability to train time aware ML models to forecast the open probability. Model choice could be something like gradient boosting or temporal neural networks like LSTMs. What are the primary input features for us? Local time of day of week, uses device status, for example, screen time, app usage, and recent engagement trends. The model outputs a heat map of likelihood scores per engagement per hour in the next 24 to 48 hours. Which brings us to our, now we have spoken about predictions and we know what data is there. It brings us to our next important step, and which is intelligent scheduling. Instead of a fixed delivery window, our notification service stores the next best delivery time in the metadata for each message. Uses a lightweight scheduler, it just could be a background worker or a cron job, to enqueue messages into Redis streams or Kafka at the right moment, and supports a snooze fallback. If the user hasn't interacted for, say, X hours, retry the second best predicted time. This allows us to delay non urgent messages, prioritize system critical alerts in real time, and avoid clustering of messages around high churn hours. Now, we have done the tasks of delivering the actual notification at the right time, but how do we really know that it worked? And that's where our last step of impact measurement comes into picture. So we compared predictive versus random delivery windows, and one thing we have realized that open rates have improved by almost up to 35%, engagement rose by 45%, and general uninstall and mute rates dropped by a whopping 18%. And this wasn't a one time experiment, as we saw. The metrics were gathered over several weeks with different user segments, and we've seen this consistently in different experiments over the industry. We can really track performance using real time dashboards, Grafana or InfluxDB, daily reports sliced by time buckets and user demographics, and longitudinal studies to verify sustained impact. What are the key considerations for us at this time? All scheduled messages are idempotent and stored with time to live, their TTLs, to prevent outdated delivery. Predictive timing works best when combined with adaptive rate limiting. And we need to be aware of notification storm. Use a distributed scheduler with jitter to prevent spikes. You don't want to deliver all the notifications to a user at the same time, and it could be through independent scenarios. So we need to be really careful about that to add jitters to suddenly increase the notification fatigue for the user. So, to sum up, great content needs great timing. Predictive delivery ensures your message lands not just where it matters, but when it matters most. It turns your system from reactive to proactive, and that's a game changer which is known in this industry. Moving on to multi level caching strategies and notification system. One thing that you should think when you think of caching, and that's speed. Our caching strategy is generally like in memory, something like Redis. It stores session and personalization data and available for quick access, for example, less than a millisecond. The second one is more like a distributed cache. You could use something like Azure Redis with clustering, and this can be used for throttling counters or template data. Predictive fetching, and these are the ML model preloads, most likely templates and images before usage. And the last one where we speak about is the persistent blob storage for cold and archival storage, and it's used for audit trails and retries kind of stuff. We benchmark the cache hit ratio after every release, targeting 90% or greater than 90% hit rates for hard paths. And those are the hard paths are a primary important factor here. Let's briefly talk about a case study based on an e-commerce platform. And let's talk about it as a real success story. Client basically had, say, a 68% cart abandonment, and the previous solution used batch based fixed schedule emails. Open rate was like 4%. See, every night at 10 p.m., you get an email about what you left in your cart. Do you really care about it? Mostly people won't. What's our solution? Is like real time eventing for cart abandonment. We just spoke about that example where you get, hey, are you still interested in this? This is going to be gone soon. And that's real time eventing. ML model predicted intent to purchase within 1 to 3 hours. And messages had personalized subject lines and discount triggers based on past purchase history. You bought this previously. Are you still interested in this? You bought a mattress. Do you still want the mattress cover, right? It really triggers you and you feel like you need that stuff when you don't know how much you really need it at the given point, but the message still ends up as a notification for you. What's the impact that we saw? A 42% increase in recovery, 28% fewer messages sent, and 37% higher click through rates and second reaction rates. Isn't those numbers sound really promising? Now, let's talk about an implementation roadmap or our playbook for building something similar. One is the microservice foundation. Break your system into core services: ingestion, formatting, delivery, and analytics. Use scalable brokers and content based deployments. Have an intelligent layer. Start with engagement prediction models. Add adaptive rate limiting and dynamic channel ranking over it. Lastly, introduce natural language graph for content personalization. And one primary important thing that we talk about in machine learning systems is continuous optimization. Use A B tests to evaluate every model change. Build automated retraining pipelines using Airflow, MLflow, and Azure ML pipelines. Track long term LTVs as lifetime value and not just CTRs. And this is a very good recipe or just a high level playbook for you to implement a notification system which integrates with basically all the important parameters or important gotchas of ML integration. Thank you so much for your time. And building scalable intelligent notification system is a marriage of real-time infrastructure and ML intelligence. It's challenging but incredibly rewarding, and especially when users experience your craft. I'd love to hear from you and what challenges you're facing with engagement or delivery systems. You can find me on LinkedIn and just let me know whatever questions you have regarding JetSoft. Thank you so much for your time.